It is.
Here we go. Okay. Hi, how are you doing this week?
Oh, doing good. I'm doing relatively well. Summer school ended, so I got a little less pressure now.
Oh,
Free
good.
time.
Yeah, summer school. So are you teaching classes?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I typically work with special ed. So, but in the summertime, we're kind of all together. So I was with one particular student with a fifth grade class, which I just love. I love fifth graders. They're hilarious. So,
They're like starting to show personality and like you're like, this is a real
yes,
human that you are.
it's
Wow.
a real human. Exactly. It's like you can have a conversation. They've got jokes, but they
Mm-hmm.
still have that youth and innocence about them that is so refreshing. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, my favorite.
They're sweet. I spend a lot of time with a fifth grader myself, and she's one of my favorite people.
People, yeah,
Right.
easily.
So what brings you in to the office today?
Uh, um, I would say maybe a little bit of anxiety, some fear.
Mhm.
I've got more changes coming up, which I mean, they're positive. I finally found a house for my kids and I. We've been at my mother's house for 4 years now, and
Wow.
it's my youngest too, right? So I have four kids, and we're a pretty close family. So my oldest boy, he's actually going to be a sophomore at Aquinas, but he's wanted to come home. The oldest two had to leave when we lost our house. So
Wow.
I didn't really get that closure, nor did they, that last part of their teen years.
Wow.
So I'm excited the possibility of having a home. However, because the rent is just so cutthroat now, I'm terrified about financially keeping the home.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to like mentally get past that. I'm super grateful to the Lord because we've been praying for a long time for something like this. But I'm terrified, and the thought of I mean I've worked several jobs before. I'm fine with that. I didn't want to. I wanted to focus more on school right now because um, and that's the other thing. I don't want to have to choose. I don't want to have to choose between the two because timing, as you know, is everything. And
Yes.
mentally, I felt like I was ready to let's just get this school thing going. Time is passing. It's great. I'm just trying to set an example for my kids, and they're old enough where I don't have to be there every minute, but they still need me.
Mm-hmm.
Just the thought of me having to put school on the back burner, but to not have a home, I mean, it's a real thing. So I'm kind of scared right now.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. It sounds like a lot of, like you said, positive things, but that does create an overwhelming fear when you know what
Mhm.
it's like to lose that.
Yes.
And and you've been doing all these things for your kids for all these years, and now you're doing something for yourself, and you don't want to have to, you know, let that go either.
Right. I feel like, I mean, um, it's for the betterment, obviously. Like I've been able to, the American story, try to hustle raising these kids, best I could, and we've done pretty good. Obviously there's things I wish I'd done earlier, but you learn in hindsight. So
Yeah.
I just don't want to step backwards. I'm trying to intentionally level up in all areas of my life. So, and I know that change is uncomfortable. So it's been a very uncomfortable year for me.
Yes, it sounds like it. Oh,
Mhm.
what things do you do to cope with all of the fear and the uncomfortable in your life?
Um, Lately I haven't done much. I do like to be outdoors.
Hmm.
I like just to be outside in the elements or near water is everything. I do like to go fishing when I can. Um, I just feel like lately it's all been focusing on how to make ends meet, and
Yeah.
it's a catch 22. I'm grateful that I'm able to and that I have, the drive, but it's exhausting at the same time. So I find when I'm studying, when I'm able to actually focus and I'm not answering to, my kids, my job, my parents, whatever
Hmm.
entity might need me or my brain cells at that moment, I do enjoy it. I really do enjoy learning. It's like a rush for me. And then I feel like I'm validating uh, my path that I'm on.
Mhm.
But as far as just like enjoying myself, lately it's not been much of anything.
Mm,
I've socialized really or done anything. It's just all taking care of business.
yeah. And that creates just all this extra tension too, because
Mhm.
we're,
Mhm.
made to be productive, but also made to rest. And
Right.
you
That
know,
part.
I've
What's
lived in
next?
that I've lived in that tension before too, like trying to figure out if rest is productive at this moment or not. But
Right.
you
Oh
just
yeah,
gotta let yourself do it. Productivity be you know what it.
got it. Well, that's the thing. It's like you almost feel guilty, like, oh, I took a nap. I could have been doing this, that, and this. I'm like, no, like you're gonna pass out. It's like you got to tell yourself physically you need some kind of rest.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta stop to be able to continue to do all the other things in your life. Love. Yeah. Yeah. And you've mentioned like wanting to set a good example for your kids and
Very important.
continue to show up for them in that way. Do they see that? Like
Oh,
that you're working towards that? And are they like cheerleaders for you?
very much so. And that's the thing. Like my oldest is 22 and she's got her own place. She has a son. Her and her boyfriend are together. So I will say that is an outlet though, because my grandson, he's just he is a little monster and I just love the joy that he brings. So that's one outlet I would say I do have. But yeah, though her and my oldest boy will acknowledge how hard that,
Mhm.
they know I worked and that I showed up for them, even when their dad hasn't. I
Mhm.
mean, and that they appreciate it and they'll encourage me. I think we kind of feed off of each other. Like I'll send little random, scriptures or songs or just tell them how much I love them and that
Mhm.
they're the one thing I did right in my whole time on earth. So
That's
yeah.
really special. Yeah, I can
Mhm.
just like feel the love that you have for them through the screen.
Mhm.
That's, you know, that's one thing in life that you can't like manufacture in any other way. Like the love that your parents have for you is so unique. So
Yeah,
glad
it's
that they see you and all the work that you've done and can also love on you as you're,
yeah,
stressed and working towards better things.
right. I just feel like I'm trying to break it out generationally. I don't want them to have to suffer. And obviously I can't control the way the market's going and that kind of stuff, but I can, at least, have them think before they do things, plan ahead as best you can, because obviously life happens.
Yeah,
Things that you don't expect to happen, but just to kind of be prepared for it, have some sort of direction and keep in mind that self-grace.
yeah,
If it doesn't work out, it's not for lack of effort. It's just it wasn't meant right now. And maybe you can find a way around it, or maybe you have to switch lanes, but it's not the end of everything.
yeah. Wow, that's very powerful. I'm glad that even amidst all the stress that you like your direction is clear for yourself and that you know where you're going and where you've been. And that's
If I can't go back, I know I know that.
now I want to turn around.
Right,
No.
right. I don't even want to turn around. Like I don't know. I'm trying to I have the one in college and then Jasmine says she wants to go back. That's the oldest one, wants to go back, finish. She was in college. And then I'm getting my senior ready for college and or whatever she's gonna do, gap year, real estate, internship, whatever. She's all over the place.
Uh-huh.
But I'm just trying to keep them moving.
Yeah. Keep going. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's wonderful. And I'm excited for you and all the change, even though it's stressful, that it sounds
Terrifying.
gonna be good. Yeah.
Fine.
We're unfortunately running out of time. I hate cutting people off. Um,
It's
but
okay.
thank you for all that you shared. And yeah, I'm looking forward to continuing to hear updates on how life goes.
Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna stop the recording.